Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite closed door books, which are, so the meaning closed door in the book community refers to a book that has little to no spice. So as far as sexual content, it's like when you're in the middle of a spicy scene, it just goes, it normally ends and goes to the next scene in the book or the next chapter, which is something that I know a lot of people prefer. I used to read, I actually don't mind spice in books. I feel really pretty neutral towards it. It doesn't take away from the story for me. It doesn't add anything unless like the whole book is spice. I don't like books where the whole book is spice. And I feel like after some time, I've grown to appreciate the books that don't have it at all, or where it's definitely not centered around it. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few of my favorite today. So starting off with a book that doesn't have any spice at all, this is a YA romance book, is A Thousand Boy Kisses. Now this is the first book that I bought in 2020, I believe, that got me back into my reading journey. A book creator had recommended this book, and It Ends With Us. So I had an Amazon gift card that I won from school, like a school contest or something, and I bought this book, and It Ends With Us. This one, although I didn't love, it's still one that I would recommend, and I loved It Ends With Us. So A Thousand Boy Kisses follows Poppy and Rune. The book starts from the time that they are children, and it takes us through their childhood years, their preteen years, their teen years, and it follows them, I believe, even into adulthood and all of the challenges they face. And this is a pretty sad one, so if you were looking for a sad book to read, this one is a great place to start. Next, we have one of my favorite series to ever be written, and that is the Magnolia Park series by Jessa Hastings. I highly recommend if you enjoy books that feel like a TV show. So this book is very much like the show Gossip Girl. So this story follows Magnolia Parks and BJ Valentine, and Magnolia is a London socialite. She is in the fashion world, and BJ Valentine is a model. And they're all just really wealthy characters that live in London and take us through a roller coaster ride of emotions throughout the series. But it is one that is so worth it. A lot of people struggle to read this series, or specifically this couple, because they are very toxic. BJ and Magnolia have a very complex relationship, but it's one that I feel like is an accurate portrayal of a lot of people's relationships, and it just feels really real, so I highly recommend it. Next, we have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and this is actually the perfect book to read now because it is summertime, and this book takes place in Hawaii. This book follows Olive and Ethan, who by default win a honeymoon trip to Hawaii after a food poisoning accident at a wedding they both attended. And they have to pretend to be newlyweds, so it's kind of forced proximity, but the setting in this book is one of my favorite parts. It's just so tropical, you feel like you're on vacation reading it. So this is one that I highly recommend that doesn't have any spice. Next, we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So Abby Jimenez is an author that, this is the only book that I've read by her, but I've heard that her books don't have spice, so I'm almost sure that none of her books have spice. I know for a fact yours truly doesn't, and this one doesn't. So today I will be recommending this one. So this book follows Justin and Emma. And Justin believes that he has a curse because every girl that he dates, like after they break up, they go on to find their soulmate. And Emma sees the post that he writes and believes that she has the same curse, that every boy she dates goes on to meet their soulmate after they break up. So they decide to date and hope that it'll like cancel out the curse. So this book follows their story. Emma is a traveling nurse, so she accepts a job that is in the same state as Justin, and she lives in a cottage on an island, like in the middle of a lake in Minnesota, I believe. And that, I love that whole aspect because, I mean, it is called Just for the Summer. It is the perfect book to read during the summer, but I just loved reading about that, like having to take a boat there to get to anywhere because they just live on this isolated island. So this is the perfect book to read now that it is summer and it is spice free. Next we have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and this is another young adult romance book that follows Liz, who is an aspiring filmmaker in her senior year of high school, and she is hoping for a movie-like romance with Michael, the guy that she's had a crush on from childhood, and she seeks out help from her neighbor Wes. So they begin to fake date, but then actually develop feelings for each other. I read this book a few years ago, but I do remember it just being a really fun, funny, lighthearted, good read. So, and it also has no spice, so this is another perfect one. So those are all the closed door books that I have to recommend. However, I do want to include Happy Place by Emily Henry because I have heard that this book has little to no spice, and I think I'm going to read this one next now that I finished the book that I was reading prior. And I wanted to include it because I know that this is a great one to read during the summer. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.